Thank you for tuning into the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Marrocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and interdimensional seer. Together, they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources. Make sure to post your questions and comments below. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today in Disclosures. And today we're going to be covering a few different topics, some current events, some extraterrestrial sightings, and some interesting other side topics related to previous shows. So I'm here joined with Peter the Insider, and just welcoming in Peter. Hello Peter, how are you today?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you for asking, and thank you for another opportunity to be here on your channel.
Well, thanks for being here, Peter. And, you know, we were just talking about there were certain things that, you know, we're kind of staying away from a little bit, but not that it's going to have a huge impact on disclosing information. So we're going to just, you know, bring in topics that I think were very interesting and reflecting what's going on in our world today. So I'm noticing that we're going to start off with this first article where Turkey launches international hunt for cryptocurrency boss. And I'm noticing that because of distractions and people, you know, focused on the virus and the border and some of these other things, that it seems to be some different types of crimes are starting to rise up. And so in this first article, we have Turkey has issued an international arrest warrant for a founder of a cryptocurrency trading platform. State media report that Farouk Fatih Ozer fled to Albania with an alleged $2 billion from 391,000 investors. Police also arrested 62 people in simultaneous dawn raids in 8 Turkish cities over alleged connections to Mr. Ozer's company Thodex. Mr. Ozer called the allegations against him baseless and said he is in Albania for work meetings. The Turkish Justice Ministry has begun legal proceedings to seek the arrest and extradition of Mr. Ozer from the Albanian capital Tirana, Anadolu reported. Added that the Interior Minister Suleyman Soylu had spoken to his Albanian counterpart on the phone. Interpol issued a red notice for Mr. Ozer on Friday after receiving a request from Ankara. More people in more places, or I won't say that, increasing the numbers of Turkish people are opting to use cryptocurrency in an attempt to protect their savings from a sharp decline in the value of the local currency, the lira, which is Italian money. But the
No, please, give me a second. Let me correct this, or let me explain this. They've got lira in Italy before euro came, you know,
right?
But there is Turkish lira.
Turkish lira. Okay, that's why I was a little confused. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's
it's fine. It's fine.
And last week, Turkey said that they would ban the use of cryptocurrencies to pay for goods and services from the 30th of April. What happened to Thodex? Things started to look amiss on Wednesday when Thodex posted a mysterious message saying it needed 5 days to handle an unspecified outside investment, and it then suspended trading. Investors started to contact the authorities with complaints against Thodex. up by more than 1,160% compared to the previous week. On Thursday, the Turkish security officials released a photo of Mr. Ozer, believed to be 27 years old, an Istanbul airport traveling to an undisclosed location. It was later confirmed by security sources that he had been in Albania since Tuesday. So, crypto trader Coinbase worth more than oil firm BP. Buyer defends paying $2.9 million. Oh, this is just added on. They're putting these commercials in between the articles. In the message posted to Thodak's official Twitter account that day, Mr. Ozer denied the allegations. He said that he was abroad for meetings for the foreign investors. So anyhow, they had warrants to arrest 78 suspects in total and have detained 62 so far. And there it is.
But from my point of view, it's not nothing surprising, because it was like a time bomb thicken, like clock thicken, because it's like if we want to get it that way, and if we will not watch our language, sorry, if I will not watch my language, it's like the same BS another way. It's like 3 IP addresses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Owns 97% of Bitcoin. Of course, it's only tiniest little, because it was boom. Now it is boom in last years. It's boom of cryptocurrencies. But most people know. I mean, technically, I don't know anyone who don't know what is Bitcoin, right? And that's the stuff. It's the same BS as with fiat money. It's the same stuff. Few people, respectively owners of few IP addresses, or co-owners, let's say it that way, and they know most. They own most. Let's say like vast majority. It's the same stuff. So I am not surprised by this. No, not at all. From my point of view, let's say yes, I am surprised that this whole, let's say, cryptocurrency bubble hold for that long. This is what I am surprised from. Let's say it that way, yeah. Because I'm honest. I'm honest. It's the same nonsense. Of course, the initial idea was very good. It's like, oh, okay, we need to get rid of fiat money, all kind of that stuff, like banksters, all kind of this. But we as a race, as humans, are not so good, well developed, because every single time there will be individuals, they will start to misuse even the brightest and the most perfect idea. Let's say what was initially that good. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like that.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah.
I can say only crap.
There's such a temptation for power and money that even good people can be corrupted, and it's just too much power. And in this case, this guy just pretty much left, right? He just...
Yep.
Yeah.
Billions is just a little bit, 2 billions is like, what? Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you are right.
Yeah. And we just recently talked about the Albanians last week.
Just by the way, so look at that. This is like if someone will say me that it is coincidence, nothing like coincidence exists. Nope.
No, they're revealing that they're sort of creating a type of environment, right? And for these guys to maybe, go to Albania to find refuge, which it sounds like he was doing.
Yep.
And that's the first time I've seen that. I mean, it's probably happened before. I just had never seen it in the news. It doesn't look familiar to me. I've heard of people going to other places, maybe Indonesia, maybe Vietnam, but yeah, not Albania.
Yep, you are right.
Is this going to be a trend in the future, Peter, or is this, is this a
But
rare
what do you
incident?
mean? What do you mean trend? Do you mean like which country or what?
Yeah, the involvement of Albania in some of these darker activities.
But there are certain countries they will always do so. Like like paradise for those people will with let's say at least questionable activities. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, is this legal? And there's like, hey, who the heck cares? We will get money from it. Okay, so let's do it. Do you know what I mean? For those type of people.
Yeah.
I'm not talking especially about Albania. There will be all the
Those
time.
people are everywhere. Those type.
Yeah, yeah.
But there
Yeah.
are nations that are more supportive of these activities than others, but they're not the only ones. The other thing is you talked about Bitcoin as being actually created for money laundering in the first
But
place.
it is true. It is
Yeah.
true. And people don't, once it get out, even it wasn't traded on like officially traded on forex and all kind of that stuff, and I mean like markets, and people said me at that time, no, you are saying nonsenses. And few years after that they were like, do you know what, that was true. And I was like, I was saying because it's the same BS. Crap.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at some of your old shows and finding that some of the stuff that you said back then, it's happening now.
Yeah. If someone want to know, yeah, let's do it. It's not a big deal. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just saying.
We're gonna keep on bringing in the information, and here's another scheme that came up. 4 arrested in connection with $360,000 of Walmart money transfer scheme in southern Florida. 4 people were arrested for their involvement in an organized fraud scheme that used Walmart wire transfers to steal more than $360,000, according to Miami-Dade State Attorney General's office. The scheme involved fake caller IDs and an inside job. Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine Fernandez-Rundle and Miami-Dade Police Director Alfredo Ramirez on Friday announced the arrest of Emmanuel Alexis Johnson Rayon Linton, both 31. They also announced the arrest of 2 Walmart employees, 30-year-old Michelle Denise Gilliard and 26-year-old Vit Nelson St. Fleur. Today's sophisticated scammers are always probing to find ways to grab the cash of every business and every consumer, said Fernandez Rundle in a statement. Gaining the assistance of a trusted employee always makes a criminal's job easier. All 4 were charged with 1 count of first-degree felonies of organized scheme to defraud and conspiracy to commit an organized scheme to defraud. Alexis and Gilliard are also being charged with one count of first-degree felony of grand theft. St. Fleur and Linton are also charged with one count of second-degree felony of grand theft. So here's another, here's Walmart. We'll keep the article there, but they did a caller ID known as spoofing. And I don't know about anybody else, but I've been getting a lot of questionable scamming emails. Voicemails lately. A lot of phone calls under questionable phone numbers. So if you live in the U.S., I don't know if this is happening everywhere, but I probably get about 3 or 4 of them per day, and I keep on blocking them when they show up again under different phone numbers. So anyhow, Peter, what are your thoughts on this article?
This is it, because first, let's say there are 3 pillars, if we want to call it that way, of good crime. First pillar, you need to have insight. So as it was in this case, inside job. So you need to have someone inside, and if it should work in long term, not only 1 or 2 people, personally, multiple people in the first place. In second place, people of first contact, so people they are in contact with outsiders, with people they want to make scam or whatever with, or to commit on them. They need to be, let's say, convincing, trustworthy. We need to cut this out. Trustworthy and all kind of that stuff. Looking very professional, and so on. And of course, last but that was second pillar, but the last but not least, the scheme, the system should be very complex and, let's say, like quote unquote bulletproof. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's it. It will work. I don't want to say it will work or I'm accepting it or something like that. Definitely not. I'm just saying how it is. It's crazy. And it is working. For too many people. It's crazy.
Right. So we're going to go on to the next. Here's another one. 3 New York men arrested accused of pulling off $30 million international bank heist. 3 Brooklyn men were arrested and accused of stealing more than $30 million in cash and other valuables from safe deposit boxes in banks across Europe, federal authorities said. A grand jury indictment charged Val Cooper, 56, Alex Levine, 52, and Gary Smith, 49, with money laundering conspiracy and violations of the Travel Act after a string of alleged thefts between March 2015 and October 2019 at banks in the Ukraine, Russia, North Macedonia, Moldova, Latvia, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, and France. The men targeted foreign banks that appeared to lack certain security features, including video surveillance cameras in certain areas, according to the indictment. They opened accounts in those branches to get into safe deposit box rooms, and they were used sophisticated camera equipment, including a borescope, to photograph the inside of the locks of the other individual safe deposit boxes, the court document said. This allowed them to enter into the safe deposit box rooms, use the duplicate keys to open boxes and steal their contents, including currency, gold bars, jewelry, and other property, according to the indictment. The crimes were we allege in this indictment read like something straight out of a Hollywood fiction, FBI Assistant Director William Sweeney Jr. said in a statement. The thieves used sophisticated tools to thwart security systems at foreign banks and tried to cover their tracks by laundering money through U.S. banks. Cooper was arrested Tuesday and was set for a bail hearing on Friday, according to the attorney, Tony Mervis. There's more in this case than the government has presented, Mervis told an NBC News. As the case proceeds, we expect his innocence to become clear. Levin allegedly funded the operation and purchased sophisticated camera equipment used in the thefts, according to the indictment. Levin's attorneys conceded their client might have brought some of the equipment, as alleged by the government, but said it doesn't make him a criminal. Levin was arrested Tuesday and released after posting a $500,000 bond. His defense team said Levin's actions of obtaining the items, however, without the knowledge of what the items were going to be used for, is not a crime, according to a statement. So in other words, he's the one that sold them all of this equipment, and they said he was guilty and involved, and he's saying he's not. But I guess he's got a good lawyer and the others don't. But who knows? What do you think, Peter?
About this, I am not surprised at all, because this is the common way how thieves and criminals are working, and technically they can, let's say, trick over, be step ahead, pretty much all the banks everywhere in the world. Once they know how to work and how is it inside the security mechanisms, the systems, I don't want to say they will, but all the time, but most times, like 95%, they will be successful.
And you don't hear about it, do you? Because they don't usually tell everyone what happened.
I heard about that, but the stuff is that it is money laundering, let's say, okay? It is pretty much the stuff, for example, in this end of Second World War, it wasn't, this is parallel, right? In the end of Second World War, it wasn't such an act that, hey, there should be a capitulation, like, no, you will surrender, right? You will surrender without conditions. For Japan, that US dropped 2 atomic bombs. Yes, it was for that too, for that purpose. But the main reason was to show Soviet Union the power, American power, yeah? How much ahead they are over the Soviet Union. But fact is that this is the same scheme. Yes, they were doing it because they don't want to make their own quotes in quotes lives more complicated, so they targeted easy targets. They focused on easy targets to get the money, right? But the main purpose was to get in, I don't know, not only in US, I don't know, they can do it in Canada, or I don't know which kind of West European countries or whatever, and how complicated will be to do money laundering. Do you know what? Can you see this parallel? This is the parallel. Yeah. So this is it.
It's the same mindset, but in a different way, right? So you're saying it's
exactly. Yeah.
Because it's like those movies, Mission Impossible or something. They're going into these places.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
007. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Some people do it just for the excitement.
You will be maybe very surprised that it is not quotes in quotes some people, but most people once they have enough money from illegal activities, for them it is, they can easily, that easy, be normal legal businessmen or whatever. No, for them it is about excitement, or let's say habits. Do you know what I mean? Like,
The
it will
adrenaline.
be, yeah, adrenaline. It will be not, it will be boring life for them to live normal life. Let's say having legal business activities. It will be nothing for them,
Right.
despite they will have, or they can earn a lot of money legally too. No, it's like, it will be like, okay. And where is the excitement? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I know certain people with this kind of mindset. Believe me, I know it's weird, but whatever.
I think people get into the military because they need that kind of excitement or adrenaline. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you are right. Hmm. I was one of them once I was young.
Yeah.
It wasn't for money. Many people don't believe it, or let's say most people I met, they don't believe it. But you know, I wasn't about to torture animals, kill animals, or torture people, or for example, because I am very open and I will say, yeah, or damage things, or kill people, torture especially women in sexual things, whatever. No, I was full of energy, you know, and I always do. I mean, did once I was. I'm doing it till nowadays, but at that time it was crazy. Adrenaline sports and all kind of that stuff, and was like, okay, let's do. Let's shift it. Let's take it to another level, and we will get as a, company of friends. Okay, and we went to the army. It was like that.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it was definitely the better way than do anything that kind of crazy what I mentioned. What do you think, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of getting into criminal activity, which people that they don't use their energy properly. I mean, we all have different urges, especially when you're younger, to do something. And people that have that kind of energy and excitement of life, it can go either way, and it's just a matter of decision. And be doing things legally, you can get a real high out of or an adrenaline rush out of meeting a certain goal or accomplishing something that you really feel a passion for. It doesn't, unfortunately, people are not really talked to about how important that is for your existence and for the well-being of everyone else, because the world is not just here for one individual or two individuals, it's here for everyone. So that this becomes like a violation to the rest of the people that got stolen from. I mean, some of those people, that could have been all the money that they had, and in both cases, I mean, these are civilian people that are getting robbed from. So that's why I brought it up. This next article is it's really about Erica. And if you guys remember the Erica video game, we talked about this before, and it's about Erica Mason, a young girl grappling with nightmares of her childhood, trying to unravel the truth of her family's occult past. And it begins with Erica reliving her father's murder and attempting to identify his killer from these visions. So she's a psychic, and she's gets pulled into this program called Delphi. It begins to
Yes,
unravel
that's
the mystery
true.
behind the Delphi house and her father's killing and mysterious symbol which appears throughout the game. And so, and it's related to a perfume, right? So here, I won't use the audio, but we can, show. It starts off with I think that there's the oleander flower, right? So they use it for perfume.
Not only oleander, they used rose, oleander, whatever. Yep. But technically, yep, you are right. They used flowers. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it says petals, perfume, dolls.
Yep.
Is that that's her mother, right?
Elodie, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we'll move forward. And, it shows her, picking these flowers. Here they are, putting them together in a bowl. Let's see.
Yeah.
And the flowers, they do something, right? It creates some kind of hallucination.
They can do a lot of things, believe me, a lot of things.
Give us an example, Peter. I mean, it also gives them psychic ability.
Not only psychic ability, they can heal from pretty much, pretty much everything. Many people don't believe it, but for example, people from terminal stadium of cancer, just by the way, like people don't want to, normal commercial medicine will not, doctors believe it's not worth to even start to cure them, and it will cure it. Or for example, people after, civilians and soldiers in a conflict, in a battlefield, it will, once it is not like completely like, nah, it will not work, during inhalation, during operation, it can, save like legs, arms. Do you know what I mean? Like in normal occasion, you will lose your leg or arm or whatever. No, in this case, not. Even, for example, people they were heavily irradiated, it will work, or it worked, for example, in healing process, just by the way.
So yeah, and so we talk about like there's something called Bach essence and
of course
aromatherapy.
I am talking, for example, about mental health issues, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, all kind of that stuff.
Right.
People they have problems with with stomach, they have problems, like once they eat something, and they always have problems to go to the toilet and all kind of stuff. Pretty much all the stuff, it can help. I don't want to say cure, like complete cure, if we want to call it that way, but it can have really positively impact. And people can be shocked, literally shocked, like, no, I don't believe so. This is it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I've always been a proponent of essential oils and was starting to make my own perfumes before I met you, and with essential oils. And then something interfered, or I had too many issues going on. I wasn't able to really move forward with it. But that is the positive side of that. But the story of Erica gets into some kind of occult something that happens, and so there's a negative side to it, right?
Yes, and of course, just by the way, there was my lab, so no pain, no gain, if we want to call it that way.
So then they use something good, and then they put it into the MyLabs because they saw that they were opening into visions, and so here she is walking in. It reminds me of Eyes Wide Shut, and that symbol. There's the masks or the wolf.
Yeah, it looks
deer.
like that.
Yeah. Very much like, yeah, there's a rabbit. And so she's getting pulled into something dark because of her visions with this, the oleander and others, that she's getting pulled into this. So, and there's the butterfly, right? So, the reason why I brought this up is that we've already talked about this subject before.
But now
Cher.
we have another stuff.
Yeah, here's Cher. If you smell like this, men won't forget you, according to Cher. You probably never thought that this was the best scent you could have on. So now she's talking about, it's her theory about smell and how important it was to attract men. And she says, if you smell like dessert, men won't forget you, according to Cher. Now, we're looking at her. She's quite old, but she doesn't look very old.
Exactly. That was just by the way. That was my initial thought once I saw those pictures. Just by the way. Yep, exactly. Believe me or not, but but that was my initial thought. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that she's had access to surgeries and all sorts of stuff, but there's still something else going on there. And here she said, while he thought she smelled like a rose petal and bergamot, Cher told Cordon that she was wearing Cher Eau de Couture, the award-winning perfume she created. And then Cher shared her secret. I always had this theory that if you could smell like dessert, men won't forget you, and it worked. And she also talked about different ingredients, which, like I said, there's nothing wrong with the smell, the scents, and everything. But she used bergamot, clove, neroli on the top, and also jasmine, rose, and orange flower. And so, vetiver, sandalwood, vanilla, orchid. And we start thinking about how people have used the scent to actually lure people into things, manipulate them, and it's sort of a scent magic, right, Peter?
Yeah, you are right, but that's the stuff, What do you think about it? That's my question, because I don't know.
I felt
like me.
I mean, Cher is probably a part of Delphi. Am I correct?
Yeah, give me a second. I know, but I want to know your opinion.
My opinion is that she has some kind of secrets that enabled her to become very famous, and she has longevity, which a lot of people are like an explosion. They become famous, they reach a peak, and then they disappear, or they're not in the industry anymore. Some people age with the public. People like them so much that they allow them to age. They still want to see them. And then there's people like her that it's a rare group.
Yeah, you are right.
Looks like she's, been re-aged.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
You are right. Definitely. That's my thought. Those are my thoughts too. Like, no, this can't be true. Nope.
So she's with Delphi. Who else is she with?
I don't know technically anyone else except the Delphi. Sorry for that.
And is she connected at all to Kim Kardashian? I mean, they both have an Armenian background, but they also have a similar look.
Which background?
Armenian. They're both Armenian, but they both have a similar kind of look. Is there a
Yeah,
connection?
that's true. Nope, I don't think so.
No
At least
cloning or anything like
I
that?
don't know. I don't know about that.
Okay. All right.
Why? Why?
I don't know. I've seen them together. I didn't know if there was some kind of cloning or something going on there. It just, I don't know. I guess it's not important at this time, other than it feels like she uses like high magic or the black magic stuff, and she's done plenty of shows with that. But anyhow, connection to Delphi is enough. Here is another article. Climate change has knocked Earth off its axis. Is that true, Peter?
Yes or not? Sorry, yes and no at the same time, because technically, what is axis? It's not. Every single time, every single second, axis is changing. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Well, that's what they're saying here. They're saying of all the things attributable to climate change, the rotational poles moving differently is definitely one of the weirder ones.
Yep.
But a new study shows exactly what's happening. It builds on previous findings to show that disappearing ice is playing a major role and shows that groundwater depletion is responsible for contributing to wobbles as well.
Yes, because technically we get that. No, not we get. We caused. We as humanity, as a mankind, we caused that global warming. How can we say it? Once we look at axis, it is not axis with a very standpoint. With one standpoint. If we look at axis, it is rotating, and the axis, it makes some sort of how we can call it, it makes some sort of circle, like disc. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
And this is it. So it's like, what? And that's the reason. That's the reason why all those. Okay, it is not the only reason, but once there will be not such a crazy fast climate change, let's say global warming, and from this, like getting climate change getting stuff, we will be not witnessing fact that axis, rotating axis, will not make circle, will not make disc. It will stand still. And because it is making those circles, it is causing that ice is melting even faster and faster. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's synergic effect. It's crazy.
Right. Anytime things are out of balance, it creates other problems that were unexpected.
Yeah. And just by the way, Schumann resonance, what Schumann, he was German scientist, sorry for that, in the 1950s, he measured it, and it was 7.85 hertz. So we can call it like what? Heartbeat. We can call it like heartbeat of Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Initially, sorry, my bad. Initially, it was 783, my bad. And because of electromagnetic smog, it went to almost 8.7 right now. It's crazy. It's like, what in the world? It's like, how can I say it? Like normal people, people in healthy people, once they are doing nothing, have certain, uh, how can we call it, BPM. Do you know what I mean? Like the heart frequency. Yes, I'm talking about the smallest number. If you can go to the top. Yeah, the smallest number. 7.83. Yeah, so sorry, my bad. And because of electronic smog, so those kind of signals and all kind of that stuff, it went almost 1 hertz up. It's crazy. It's like normal people, I mean, normal, uh, healthy people are, what is it, like 60 or 70? What do you think? Heartbeat is like that?
Yeah.
Something like that. And try to imagine, like someone or something is always forcing you to run or to swim, or I don't know, whatever, as fast as you can. Because once you will stop, you will die. And this is it what we are doing to our mother, to Earth, to Gaia. It's crazy. We are violating her. Many people will say, nah, it's nonsense. It's just 1 hertz. 1 hertz. No, it is not nonsense. It is not just like 0.9 hertz or something like that. It is not like that. It is extremely crazy, and this is it. Because we are, I don't want to say we, I mean both of us or most of our listeners, we are not like that, but most people are selfish, egoistic pigs. Sorry for that, but that's it. They don't take care about Mother Nature.
Right.
They are killing it. They are killing it. Sorry for that, but I'm just saying, because this is making me, like, oh, I don't like that. No, I don't like this.
But nobody, it's not just one individual, it is a collective of all nations, of all people.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the corporations are also creating, and the governments are creating certain things that cause problems where, had we gone to, a free energy, that would have helped, but they stopped it. They prevented us from doing that.
Yes, that's true. Yes, that's another part of true. Let's say, I don't want to say, or let's make it correct. People, I mean, vast majority of people, that's true, they are victims. They are victims in this situation because, once people get certain things as a program from a very, very, very early age, pretty much since they were born, what the heck? How the heck should we expect them to behave any other way?
Right.
It's extremely complicated to expect just like that. No, it is extremely complicated. In the first place, and in the second place, once people want to behave as they should, they are marginalized. Like,
right.
Like a society, people,
outcasts. Yeah,
outcasts. They don't want to talk with them. They don't want to deal with them. Like, what? Are you serious? This is nonsense. You know, despite that those people have true. This is what's, and I will not watch my language, what pisses me off. No, it's crazy. I think he was Wilhelm or Wilhelm Otto von Schumann, am I right? Or Otto von Schumann? I think, yeah, Winfried, sorry for that. Winfried, Otto von
Otto.
Schumann. Yep, uh-huh. Yes, it was in early 50s, 1952. Yep. Because, yes, of course, there are those another higher frequencies, but this 782, it's like 783, my bad, it was at that time, it's the basic frequency. Yep.
I mean, it would be really great if someone would intervene and not allow the corporations to block free energy products so that we could start transitioning away from the strain on the planet. And do you foresee anything like that happening in the future?
You know what? For example, transport. Electronic, so oil-free, let's call it that way, electro transport like cars and buses and all kind of that stuff is the first step, and then we will get to hydrogen. Technically we have hydrogen cars, just by the way, but it's, I mean, the you know, selling rate, it's kind of low because they are expensive, but nah, it will get higher, believe me.
But if they do like a mass production of them, maybe.
No, give me a second, they have, but the technology, it's not let's say the exact let's how we can call it, measurements and technologies. I'm talking about like the luxuriousness and all kind of that stuff. It will be the according to this, price will be the same, but fact that they are using hydrogen engines, technically not the engines, reactors, small reactors, it is like that. That's the reason why they are so expensive, because this technology, I mean, you know, the development, it's crazy expensive. That's the stuff.
Is that our only option? I mean, there's possibly
of
some
course
you can
buy pretty much all manufacturers are you know, offering those kind of models, but you cannot, for example, open like random like web page, you know, and go, I don't wanna advertise any single car manufacturer. It is not like, for example, you are opening normal internet page and you can configure that car. You need to go to dealership and ask and blah blah blah, you know, all kind of that stuff. In the first place and in the second place, it is not that easy to register such a type of car on license plates, regular license plates. It's not that easy.
What about, you know, those, like, you know, we see these in these futuristic movies, these electromagnetic hovercrafts and things like that.
There's another alternative. Yeah, that's true.
That's you have to rebuild the roads and everything to create that electromagnetic.
Yeah, you are right. You know, every single time you have pros and cons. It's pretty much every single time. Yep.
So it's just a matter of what nation is going to decide upon what's good for them. But do we do step into that? Is that correct? It's part of our future.
Yep.
What is the approximate time frame?
15 years?
15.
12, 10, 12, 15 years at the most. Yeah.
Okay. Because we have, let's see, this one right here where, this is in California.
Give me a second, but I think we should get to all of those. Climate, what is it? Or we got this?
We got it, yeah, because it's the same thing.
Okay.
It's also attacking the Earth too, as fracking, which is they talked about water being removed from the planet, so it's creating an unevenness in it's not densely filled, and also pulling oil too is doing the similar thing, not to mention it's creating cracks, right?
Yeah, you are right.
So, in Newsom, I don't trust him. He's always on the negative side of the agenda.
Yeah, do you know what? Actually, it's weird because California completely banned selling oil powered cars. What is it, like 2035? Something like that? I'm not sure. Can we go?
It says Newsom bans new California fracking permits starting in 2024.
No, but I'm saying cars. They completely ban. Where is it? Crap.
Oh, the California bans regular
gas-powered cars. Look at that. Yep, gas-powered cars. I mean, gas-powered vehicles. They ban it in 2000. The selling in 2035. I know about that for positive. I'm positive about that. Yeah, this is it. What I said.
How gasoline-powered cars drastically reduces demand for fossil fuel in California's fight against climate change. So, are they saying that it's going to electric cars? What are they given as an alternative?
Electric cars, yeah. Electric cars, yeah.
But that's still using energy. And some people say they're like microwaves. They're unhealthy for you to drive in.
Yeah, they are like microwaves in the first place, and in the second place, you need to get this energy, electric energy, from somewhere, and most of those energy is not quotes in quotes green energy. Do you know what I mean? Like water or like solar, or I don't know, like wind energy or so. And that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, it's just good. Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, the batteries, the chargers, all kind of that stuff. It's extremely environmentally harmful, or let's say in environment unfriendly, to get those elements for manufacturing batteries and all kind of that stuff, for mining it from inner earth. It's goddamn crazy. So it's like, okay, what's the better alternative here? There is no better alternative. Yeah.
California, if they're going to do that, they would have to create something else, whether it's hydrogen or something that is.
And just by the way, the infrastructure, it will collapse. If, for example, in California, once there are those waves of extreme high temperatures, they are now, technically not now, but I don't know, like 10 or 12 or whatever years ago, but they were pretty much nothing. I mean, like none of electric cars, and they were turning off electricity,
right?
And try to guess what happened once those people, for example, they've got plug-in hybrids cars, or those kind of electricity car, full electric cars, and they will go home after work, so like what, afternoon, or especially and you know, in the evening or in the night, boom, the whole network, electric network will collapse. It can cause you know, it can cause fires. I don't know, it's crazy. It is not that easy. Of course, initial idea is perfect. Okay, let's get rid of gas powered cars, fine. But we need to think step ahead. Not one, not two, 5, 8, 10, maybe dozen step ahead. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Not just like that.
Not just jump to electric because it's convenient. Because, I mean, with the amount of sun that they have there, why are they not expanding on something that's solar? I mean, you know, I guess that they don't make any money off of solar. And that's the point, is a lot of these corporations don't want to invest in anything that they're not going to get residual income.
Actually, I am kind of surprised, unpleasantly, that considering how many sunny days and all kind of that stuff it's down there, that they don't have that many solar power plants and wind power plants.
Yes, because they're on the coast. Absolutely.
They have, of course they have,
but not what the amount that they should have.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I was there, and it was like, we have pandemics, so it was 2 years ago, right in the middle of summer, and I was like, what? Because, you know, like, time is changing, everything is developing, and I was like, what in the world? What? You know, people are happy in China, for example, because they are like, screw it, and they are all about, in China, they are all about, if we can call it that way, green electric energy. Green, do you know what I mean? They are not building, I don't know, what is it like? They are not building atomic power plants, and they are not building those coal power plants. No, because they know how to get it the most effective. Talking about, and with that potential they have down there in California, I'm shocked. Why? Do you mean it's like, for example, it's like, aha, I got why they are doing it. And I will say you, very easy, because they will get extremely electric energy. Like, hey, okay, but you are low on power. Pay me for that.
Right. They want residual income.
Yeah, because, for example, in Europe, especially in Western Europe, situation is spread crazy. People are desperate. I mean, not common people, but the states. And actually, states from Eastern Europe, former Eastern Europe, so let's say behind Iron Curtain, formerly in, 1980s and earlier, you know, in the history, they are getting rich because they have a lot of power. Even they have not capacities to storage for. In Western Europe, they have nothing. They are extremely low on power. It's crazy.
Why is that? It's because they're the different types of energy sources that they're pulling from, or are you saying they have more resources?
Technically, fact is that let's take it from that way, that former Eastern Bloc countries, yeah, it was kind of complicated. Everything was regulated by communistic, country. Party. I mean, like former government and all kind of that stuff. And afterwards, early 1990s, we created. I'm saying because I am from that part of the world, the latest technologies, right? And the Western world, they have like, okay, we have this and that and that, and even we've got most of, let's say, latest experimental electric energy technologies, like how to create it, right?
Right.
And we have a lot, and I mean a lot, right? And we don't need to use even atomic and coal-based electric power plants. No, we don't. But still, despite we have the latest, the highest capacity, those kind of, let's say, energetic storage, we are selling it because we cannot get it. Like everything, and we are getting rich. Our states are getting rich because of that.
Well, what is the energy source coming from?
In especially in my country, Slovakia, we've got largest. Let's say water reservoirs, right? In the first place. Then we have a lot of those power plants, like water power plants. It's pretty much like nothing else. It's like pretty much lowland, right? But it's like, for example, what? Like 100 feet, it is not that complicated to build. And just because of that, this 100 feet, like it is upper deck and lower deck, if you want to call it that way, and it can create crazy amount of energy because we have advanced technologies.
Wow.
Because because we have latest technologies created by our own scientists, just by the way.
Right. Well, that's where Tesla came from. But in the problem isn't...
Give me a second. Technically, Tesla came from Serbia, just by the way. We are in Slovakia, but
that part of the world.
Yes, this part of the world. Yes, technically you are right. Very close to each other. And just by the way, we are Slavs too. Yeah. So yes.
So the idea of having invented these things, I think everyone's on board with that, except for the elite. Here again, the elite dragging their feet, getting in the way of everything, and not allowing us to implement a lot of these new technologies that we should have been light years ahead, according to the information that we have.
Of course.
They held us back, and then we're hurting the planet because their need for money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You are right.
Or control or power over everyone else. And this is where it's brought us, and dictating, what we can and cannot do, and all this other stuff. So,
and to total censorship. Many people, I was young. I was only 18 when I left. But older people, let's say 60 plus, they were like 30 plus when old regime in our part of world collapsed. They said that what is happening now, what we are facing now, throughout the internet. And it is not, I don't know, like it is in US or certain part of, or in Canada, or I don't know, like in Western Europe. This happened pretty much everywhere. In Czech and Slovak Republic too, that you can have your own opinion, but you cannot express it, because you can be sure 100% about one thing: you will get in big trouble. And even you cannot write and talk on the internet completely free, because it's, I don't want to say it is certainty, but you can be almost certain that you will you will have big issues. After saying what is not okay with that, what official authorities like, if you want to call it that way, or not authorities, let's call it directly, what is not official ideology of individuals, let's say politicians and political parties. They are right now in the government. It's crazy. They said, some people said that even during communistic regime it wasn't that crazy. How it is right now.
I know, and it's
I'm
probably
just saying,
it's the same group, the same groups.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. You
Yeah.
are right. Yep.
It's time for them to find the seat in the corner and step back, because I think they've already done enough damage here.
Yep.
But
I think we can go. What?
Yeah, this is the next article. Colorado Springs-based global supertanker will permanently cease operations. So you were talking about fires, and
Yeah.
this supertanker is shutting down operations permanently. The company, which has fought wildfires around the world, was not issued a renewal for their approval for the federal government. So I guess we have more important things to spend our money on, and we don't have money for putting out fires, I guess. So the group will now search for a buyer for the Boeing 747 used to deliver fire retardant, and all employees have been furloughed. What in the world is this all about?
This is it. They are having a day, and this is it. They are getting money and spending money for literally BS, random BS and stuff. What they are important. What can say, lives, people's, health, people's, assets, people's whatever, like real estate. No, we don't consider it as important. No, screw it. This is their approach. It's like, what the heck?
They all need to go.
From my point of view,
they don't represent the group, and they represent themselves. Then they need to go.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we saw fire after fire in California, and they
are doing this. They are doing this. I mean, like, what?
Yeah. Wildlife, all those wildlife, all living things, humans, plant life, everything's just getting burnt to the ground, and nobody's doing anything about it. Especially, it's like they have the ability.
Look at that. This is nonsense. Of course they are setting those fires because they cannot go from down under. Do you know what I mean? It's nonsense. Yeah. How the heck can someone set fire and it will burn the tree from bottom to the top. It's nonsense. Do you know what I'm trying to
Or
say?
sometimes the trees don't get burned in just the houses. Like they're
Yeah, but
lazy.
give me a
Yeah.
second. This is another stuff. It's like, what? There is lack of logic. No, screw it.
Yeah.
And they will write. Friend of mine, he's a firefighter. I mean, he has certain like you know, let's say he's doing this for more than 30 years. He got university on that. I mean, those kind of phenomenons. And he was laughing that loud. He was almost crying, of course, like desperate laughing, crying all together. Like, can you see that BS? And it was like, what? And he clarified this to me, and I was like, this is nonsense. Those kind of totally unlogical, stupid-ish, like, you know, clearances. Of course, it wasn't clearance, you know. It's like, it was like nonsenses what they gave as, hey, this is how it happened. Of course it wasn't. Crap.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's just stupid. Here is the next article. Scripps Institution of Oceanography researchers discover heat bombs destroying Arctic ice. At first, I thought someone was doing it, but is this natural? Their researchers say heat bombs are destroying the sea ice in the Arctic Ocean.
No. This is respectively those are. If we want to call it that way, like quotes in quotes, masterpieces of Fifth Reich, just by the way. Fifth Reich.
Yeah, this is their mixing of the different waters generates phytoplankton growth and creates a heat bomb, melting the ice above. The exact mechanism causing the ice to melt so rapidly. And what are they trying to do then? Other than, you know, melt all of the ice so they want to have access into the space?
Yeah, directly. Yep, you are right.
And they call it soda. Researchers gather on the deck. Interesting.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so here's something else that we've done to the Earth or the planet or the galaxy, if you want to call it. Why the Air Force almost blasted the moon with an H-bomb. So it was called, we're going to go over here first, Project A119, and known as the study of lunar research flights, was a top secret plan developed in 1958 by the United States Air Force. The aim of the project was to detonate a nuclear bomb on the moon, which would help in answering some of the mysteries in planetary astronomy and astrogeology. If the explosive device detonated on the surface and not in the lunar crater, the flash of explosive light would have been faintly visible to people on Earth in their naked eye. This was meant to show a force resulting in possible boosting of domestic morale in the capabilities of the United States and the boost that was needed after the Soviet Union took an early lead in the space race and was also working on a similar project. I mean, this is crazy. This is exactly what you were talking about earlier. How ego and the need to prove their power was displayed here. The U.S. willing to detonate a nuclear bomb on the moon, potentially harming definitely harming the moon, so it would probably be toxic then to go onto the moon, but not only that, offsetting our connection to the moon, which would actually harm our rotation, I guess, as well.
Yes, definitely, yep. And just by the way, our listeners, we didn't talk about that. Technically, I've got the topics, and we start recording. Many of us, you maybe don't believe it, but this is our usual way how we are operating. Am I right?
Yeah. It's just you're bringing up certain things that actually link together as if we planned it. And I get the topics right before the show, so
Yeah, like what, 5 or 10 minutes before the show?
I know you're always waiting for me to send them.
Yep, yep. A eight, A 118 was 8119. My bad. It was crazy. It was like, what in the world? Yep. Was. And history, just by the way, history is valuable source. It's like, this what it is.
This is
It's
what
TV
why
station.
everyone. Yeah, this is why they want to get rid of history, so we don't know what happened, and we don't understand the progression of things, because everything evolves from some other incident, and if they can wipe that out, then we're kind of searching for, an understanding of what happened. And that's why it's important to hold on to history and get a better idea of what we're experiencing here. Okay, so this is the next article, Atlantis and the ships that made humans fly in ancient times. And it's, for decades, researchers have raised their voices to accept the theory that flying ships existed in ancient times. Different ancient texts and stories would reveal existence of airships from Atlantis. The technological level of our ancestors has been discussed by archaeologists and historians. Some claim to have discovered that the technological principles of humanity come from Atlantis thousands of years ago, and the evidence of flying machines of antiquity, we can find them in different ancient cultures around the world. The Nazca balloons, the ancient town of Nazca is one of the most important archaeological centers in the world, and in plains you can see the Nazca lines, gigantic geoglyphs, and the present different figures. Among them are huge hot air balloons, which have confused historians. Researcher Jim Woodman is convinced that the construction of these aircrafts were possibly with tools that the natives of Nazca had. And to confirm it, he chatted with Julian Knott, the founder of Modern Global Movement. Skeptical Knott listened to Woodman's theory and helped him build a hot air balloon out of materials that may have been used in ancient times. Against all odds, the balloon flew. While I don't see any evidence that the Nazca civilization would fly, it is beyond question that they would have flown. And, pretty much you can see that artwork that was on the ground, which was on a very large scale, that you had to see it from an aerial perspective to see the shapes of animals and the other shapes that they had there. Here's the Vimanas of India, and they found Vimanas. They existed at the end of the last ice age, and they could have rivaled other equally advanced regions. Ancient Sanskrit writings suggest the stories considered fantasy by experts for hundreds of years could be true, and support the theories based on the discovery of strange artifacts and additional texts to supplement the records kept in museums and universities. And so, this stuff has been around for a long time, right, Peter? Here is the Gobi Desert, which is showing signs of radioactivity.
You got them right. They are. I don't know why those skeptics are like that. Let's take it that way. Even if they don't believe, fine. But I don't like people, they even don't like to start to think about certain stuff.
Right, they just dismiss it right away. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
And here we were talking about the atomic bombs, and the Vedas also mention air war, an air war and an atomic war, which took place between the region in northern India and an unknown region located in the Gobi Desert. And it should be noted that there is a section of the Gobi Desert which has shown signs of radioactivity, and several sections of the sand are melted, transforming into greenish glass. The radioactive sands of Mongolia could be yet another proof of this war, and in the same way the remains found of an ancient city in northern India show signs of radioactivity. And it is thanks to these findings that the Aoud wedge, discovered in 1973, was seen from another perspective, a machined piece of metal made from an aluminum alloy. At first, it was believed to be 400 years old. However, the new analysis determines it came from the year 18,000 AC, almost 20,000 years before the discovery of aluminum. Many experts have stated that this artifact could be part of an aircraft landing gear. Atlantis has been one of the most controversial stories of humanity, and many ancient cultures have mentioned the lost continent. However, thanks to Greek philosopher Plato, that legend became known. He described it as an ancient city. All of this, still to this day, similar to the gigantic island that was located beyond the columns of Hercules. More current researchers suggest a location off the coast of Spain, near the Bimini Islands and in the Caribbean, although some experts believe that Atlantis is located in the South Pole because of the region is located beyond the columns of Hercules. As Plato mentioned, there is no doubt that Atlantis is a mystery. However, nothing worries more than an ancient technology. Many historians assured the continent had a large submarine ships in enigmatic crystal of power, which supplied electrical current into the continent. So it's amazing, all of this stuff. We talk about nuclear wars and what would happen if there was a nuclear war. Well, there was one already, right?
From ACIO's point of view, there is no doubt about it.
Right, and that's why we have these.
This is it. What you was referring to right now.
Yes, yeah. And what about their belief of Atlantis? There's a lot of question of where Atlantis was, although it's if it was in the Atlantic somewhere, then as the name Atlantis, Atlantic, then it would be touching all these different nations that say that they're a part of it, right?
This is it. What you said exactly.
Yeah,
it makes perfect sense.
Right, and some of the here's aircraft. Let's see. Some people did some remote viewing, and then they had some ideas of what they saw. Just as I've had some remote viewing from Atlantis. I think you can't help it if you start connecting in to, if you live near the area, in any of these areas that Atlantis had affected. I think that you can tune into kind of the expression of Atlantis, because I think those souls, those energies, still exist. But there were
definitely I am on the same page as you. Definitely.
But the Atlanteans, would you say that they were humanoid or they were
hybrids?
Hybrids.
ET hybrids. Yep, right. ET hybrids.
Okay, so we're gonna go on to the next. This one's about Mark Zuckerberg. Says he's so excited about a new project that he's forgotten to eat. We think about him because every day people are posting things on Facebook, and he has brought this place in, and becomes he's very, very powerful now because of this social media.
Yeah.
And so, no matter what he does, if he's out doing one thing or another, people are paying attention to him. And now he's saying, well, he gets so excited he doesn't eat. But here's something that Facebook is buying off the New York Times. So now they're wanting to be the influencer. They've had influencers on Facebook, and now they always want to be the influencer.
At least from my point of view, at least according to our information in ACIO, they already bought.
Right. And so are they going to try to take over all of the media?
Let's say they made the very mutually good deal or acceptable deal with both sides. I mean Zuckerberg and Murdoch family. So you know they are all over the media. Murdoch family, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
Murdoch clan.
Mhm.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
they've been involved.
mutually benefit deal. Yep.
Yeah, they've been involved for many years, haven't they? The Murdoch family with media.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
50 years? Is that, am I right?
Oh no! Since the end of Second World War.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Since the end of Second World War. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get into some ET or some kind of UFO. Here's
Yeah.
some footage of an alleged UFO filmed in Pordenone, Italy. Shows lighting fast departure. And let's see if there's a video. Here it is. Peter, if you can give us an identification of what.
I I know what we saw.
Okay.
It's Marlons. They are Marlons, and it was their their discovery ship. They want to make some sort of discover, some sort of observation. Marlons.
Where are they from, Peter?
They are from eighth dimension.
And are they here to help, or are they just?
No, they are just observing. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're interested in something over here in Italy. What is that?
Yeah. Try to guess what. They are interested in the wisdom, the knowledge from Vatican City, the library. I mean.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's it. So are they in the like a future as well?
Yeah. Technically,
Yeah, so they're coming back to see what we know.
Yeah. Time travelers. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Do you end up talking to them, or?
Of course, multiple times. They are funny guys, you know. It's funny.
Here's another one.
Our TR3, old one.
Old one. And it was seen, recorded.
No. This is B. Very old one. I mean, actually, this should be old photo.
This is in recent, right? So it was April 20th, 2021.
But give me a second. The photo, it's only like, some random one because this is very old. We are using TR3H.
This is the ACIO vehicle? Or?
Yep.
Here is, there's footage.
To the International Space Station, where yet another unidentified
I don't know if I can.
webcam moving in the opposite direction. Very bright object that appears to have some sort of a brand new picture slideshow. New sky phenomena photo going up to Oregon. Anthony D.
Let's see if I can
via the ISS webcam moving in the opposite direction. Very bright object.
So I don't know, that's not going to show, but actually in here they talk about the Schumann resonance, which you brought up. So
it's not coincidence.
It's another
It's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
Nope.
So maybe the Marlins are involved in this.
Who the heck knows?
Yeah, I thought I saw some footage somewhere, but maybe not. I guess it could be in there somewhere, but I thought it was interesting. All right, so this is a strange-looking woman walking or levitating.
Anna, sorry for that. Anna, that's her name.
Where's she from?
Anna, she's from Mars, but from another timeline. I mean, it's interesting how she ended up here. Anna, weird.
So have you interacted with Anna before?
No, of course. It's kind of weird that how the heck she ended up here. he should be she will be scared, or she is scared from this. Crap.
She kind of reminds me of a Mesopotamian goddess. It looks like her top is bare.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that.
Yep.
Let's see if I can find. Is that what she is?
Yeah, you are right.
She like one of
we are calling her Anna technically. She's saying like, nah, hey guys, how are you? I am Anna. You know.
Well, they have. Oh, is this Inanna?
Oh crap.
Is it Inanna? Okay.
Inanna. Oh crap. That makes sense.
They have pictures of Ishtar here, and this is kind of, I think this is the image I was thinking of. With something like that. Inanna. Yeah.
Yep. That makes perfect sense.
She's ancient Sumerian.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a certain picture I'm looking for. It sort of reminds me of this too. And
Inanna, yeah, you are right.
Yeah, because that's Ishtar. That's the Ishtar picture. That's not Inanna.
No. I'm just saying that we are, but yeah, it can be Inanna because those. I mean, for us, those beings are communicating telepathically with us, and it's kind of hard to understand and to translate what they are saying because it's via telepathic in the first place, and in the second place they can shapeshift just like that, so kind of
have different forms.
Hard to understand what they want to say or what they are saying. And just by the way, they are doing hidden meanings. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, those prophets, for what they are. I'm thinking what they're doing.
I'm just going back to this because, so you can see it's almost like the garment goes around the breasts. The dress is long. And, long hair, dark hair.
Yeah. So it's something like Nostradamus prophets, it's like he was saying something or writing something, but he encountered stuff, himself, he wasn't able to understand it, and he wrote something, and they're like, oh, okay, there is hidden meaning, try to guess. Do you know what I mean? It's like lucky guess, and it's something like that. The communication with those beings is like, holy crap.
So they're involved with maybe the path of the Earth, and they understand the timetable of certain things.
Not maybe, definitely. Yeah.
The reason as to why she is transparent is most likely the fact that her camouflaging technology completely hides her away from the normal eye, but doesn't do so with high quality camera from the rover. So she was using her technology to not be seen, but their technology is starting to become better, and
Yeah.
so they caught her there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has also discussed the possibility that this is a statue of a Martian ruler or deity altogether. I don't. It doesn't look like she would just be a statue there, right? It looks like she's moving. I don't know if this is. Cut off the sound. Yeah, you can see her right there.
Yep.
What are these other objects that they're looking at?
Constructions. I mean, the buildings, you know.
Buildings,
Like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I think if things were hit that hard, that a statue would not exist.
Mm-hmm. You are
Yeah.
right. You are right. Yep.
Yep, and they're talking about a manhole, similar to a manhole, a lever at the top. So yeah, there's some interesting stuff here. So this is Inanna. That's great. I think that will help a lot of people that are looking into these things. Okay, so here is Project Serpo, the intergalactic exchange program between human race and alien beings.
Yeah, this is one of the most, and let's say best documented project we have in ACIO. That's true. Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's true.
This is an update on the article because this happened in, let's see, so this is from April 22nd, 2021, but in 2005, Victor Martinez, a former U.S. government employee who ran a UFO discussion group, received a series of emails from an unidentified source. These emails exposed the existence of an exchange program between the U.S. government and the Ebens, alien beings from Serpo, a planet in the Zeta Reticuli star system, and the program was assigned the name Project Serpo. According to the source, he was the former government employee who worked on a special project. The program's origins can be traced to 2 UFO crashes in New Mexico in 1947, one in Roswell and the other in Corona. One extraterrestrial survived the crash, according to him, and was taken to the Los Alamos National Laboratory. The other 6 extraterrestrials who died were held in the same freezing facility at the same laboratory. The survivor made contact with the scientists and military personnel and revealed the location of its home country, with whom it communicated until 1952. The alien provided information on the items found inside the crashed UFOs and a networking tool for contacting his home world was one of the artifacts it was allowed to use. A briefing was planned, and after the alien ship crashed near Alamogordo, New Mexico, in April 1964, the extraterrestrials engaged in knowledge exchange in English after retrieving the remains of their fallen comrades thanks to the aliens' translation machine. The aliens decided to take a group of humans back to their planet as a part of an exchange program after a series of events in 1965. 12 military personnel were carefully selected for a 10-year stay on Serpo. The 10 men and 2 women were specialized at various fields, and their goal was to learn everything they could about life history and technology on the alien planet. They were 3 years late and 4 people short when they arrived in 1978. 2 men had died on the alien planet. Just 1 man and 1 woman had decided to stay, and the alien craft traveled from Earth to Serpo, 37 light years away, in just 9 hours. Serpo is a world with a similar to ours but smaller, It was a planet with an atmosphere similar to Earth's that orbited a binary star system. The two suns, on the other hand, meant the radiation levels were higher, requiring 12 humans to be extra vigilant. As a result of the complications, 2 of them died. The light was intolerable, and the remaining humans took a long time to adjust. Food safety concerns were also raised. The crew had brought enough food to last 2.5 years, but they would have to eat even food at the same point. Anyone who has traveled abroad knows that eating local food causes serious stomach problems, but the human crew was finally changed their minds. Serpo's days was 43 Earth hours long, which was another problem. It was never absolutely dark because their night skies were dimly lit by the smaller sun, and the crew had complete influence over their visit to the alien planet. The geology of the alien planet is unusual, with few mountains and no oceans. Plant life did occur, but only in the polar regions and where the temperatures were lower. Some of the larger animals were used by the Ebens for work and other purposes, but never as food, and they prepared their food using processes, and they had a lot of them. Residents of Serpo lived in tiny villages ruled by a big city. Despite the fact that they lacked a central government, they managed to get along just fine. The Earth team found that although the Ebens had a leader, an army, they never used weapons and were almost non-aggressive. They had no concept of money or commerce. Ebens received items that were tailored to their needs. About 65,000 people were expected to be on the planet, according to the human crew. The Ebens were disciplined in all aspects of their lives, working on schedules dictated by the movements of their suns, and there were no other civilizations on Serpo except the Ebens. Their replication method was similar to ours, but it was ineffective. As a result, their children experienced a great deal of loneliness. The human crew got themselves into trouble when they tried to photograph even children. They were taken away by the army, who warned them not to do it again. After their return to Earth and remained 8 members of the expedition have been quarantined for a year. During this time, they debriefed, and the account expanded to about 3,000 entries. Since then, all of the expeditions of the participants have died from radiation-related illnesses that happened to 2 people who chose to remain on Serpo is unknown. The Ebens haven't interacted with the Earth since 1985. And then they have a video here. Peter, do you have anything to say about this exchange, or are there people that have I been a part of this project?
Yeah.
It feels very familiar to me. Maybe.
But technically it's not true. I mean, it's only part of the truth, tiny part of the truth, because Project Serpo, let's say, there is not like Planet Serpo or something like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
There's more than one planet related to the project.
Of course, and because Ebens they colonized multiple planets, and whoever is behind the getting those information to the public, they very carefully choose which part of the stuff should get to the public and which shouldn't, because there are multiple planets Ebens colonized, multiple, we can call them suns, so stars, whatever. The conditions on the planets were like wide variation, even wide vary. Everything was much more complicated and complex. But that's good start for us, yeah. Yeah.
I have a memory of being on an island, or like an island, but it was a large island. And it was a civilization somewhere, and a ship landed, and it was an ET species, and I was interacting with them. But because of the high level of radiation, I ended up dying, like maybe a year or 2 afterwards.
Of course, you always died. It's crazy.
From the radiation or from different projects?
From different projects, they want to kill you desperately.
Why?
Because they don't like your energy. It's too strong. They cannot handle, they cannot control you, your energy. Nah,
Yeah,
that's it.
did. And so then what happens to me? Well, I seem to keep on existing.
You always move to another context of existence and make quotes in quotes beta. You make like beta version, or let's say like backup version, something like that. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what. So you think that they try to kill me there? Because I just thought it was from the exposure of the radiation that we
Yeah,
weren't used to
that's
it.
true. That's true.
I mean, I don't think I'm that hard to get along with, but I guess if they're trying to get me to conform into a system or like a slave system of any sort, yeah, then there would definitely be a problem. And I don't do well in that environment. But
And
anyhow,
which do we have any topics left?
yeah, we do.
How many?
I think this is it.
This is the last one?
Yeah, this bizarre rainbow UFO was caught on tape over St. John in Canada. And residents of St. John, New Brunswick, Canada saw an extremely colorful, unidentified flying object. And let's see, the cameras, eyewitnesses were able to catch the amazing light. And we can see it here. So what do you think, Peter?
This is from Orleans. Like New Orleans, just Orleans. Orleans. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's a Castle 5?
No, Orleans.
Orleans. Okay.
They are having this kind of stuff. Yep.
And they're also here observing, like the Marlins?
Yeah, observing. All of them, like right now, are observing.
That's pretty wild. Is that a vehicle or is that just them flying?
No, please, not vehicle, aircraft. Aircraft. Yep.
But so the colors and everything, are they like interdimensional?
Yeah, that's the reason why they are flickering like that, like crazy.
Yeah.
Because they are using a wormhole, just by the way.
Oh, I see. And also look at the lines there too. You see that?
But this is it what I'm saying. They are aligning the grid. Do you know what I mean? Because using wormhole is not that easy. You need to be goddamn careful because as it can help you, it can kill you. You know, using wormhole. It's you need to be goddamn careful what you are doing. Huh?
That's pretty cool though. The colors are amazing.
Yep.
So I think that's it for today. Looks like we have some observers, we have some news, and some great information from the ACIO.
Okay, so I think that's it for today. Respectively for our regular weekly show. I want to say thank you for another opportunity to be on your channel, and all of our listeners. Thank you for your patience, for being here almost 2 hours. It's like unusually long show, and stay tuned. Until next time, bye bye.
All right, and thank you, Peter, for being here. And I think even though it was a little long, we covered some extra information that you never anticipate is going to come up. So, but thank you to our wonderful listeners. Thank you for your support, for your kindness, for your comments. Your information is also very appreciated. And we enjoy being here, sharing information with you. Have a good day, everyone. Stay healthy, stay strong, and be well.
You have been listening to the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Marrocco. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Visit www.acio-agency.org and www.readingsbyariel.com. Post your questions and comments below. We look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to support our work. All the links can be found in the description. Thank you.